Streaming it up now. Started off with a bad note. Maybe somebody will show up. There's somebody. Good afternoon. Hey, David. So there we go. What's up? Everybody can hear me? Hey, Lacey. Hey, there's that away girl. Can't see it. There's a guitar here. I was just, while everybody's chiming in, figured I'd play a little. Anybody guess it? Keep playing. Everybody's chiming in. For this one, everybody should get, right? Stairway. Well, okay. Well, it actually sounds good. It's an Epiphone, well built. You can buy one of these for about $700-800 and save your $10,000 on a really nice Martin or a Hummingbird. Come on, nobody got that first song. Not the first one before everybody came in. No stairway. Pink Floyd. Why are Pink Floyd? Come on. It's a real pretty song. Real basic song, too. By an Irish band. Nobody got that. Wow, that's kind of surprising. I figured. Nice song. Okay, well. Nobody got either one of them. So is it my play? Molly Hatchet. Okay, so anyways, it was just. It's getting better. It's getting better. Really, that was part of one of the things I wanted to do is play something and see if anybody could get something. And, come on, this song everybody should get. Oh, sorry. But, nah, I guess. No sound. No sound. Oh, okay. Well, it is you too. Someone's getting close. It's, what is it? One Love. You got it now, maybe, huh? Anyways, there we go. Dallas came in and immediately took his comment back. Anyways, so enough with that stuff. Hello, everybody. Set this up. Have to watch the doggies if they come in, so they don't mess up the expensive guitar. So all of you out there in the world who are not anywhere near Arizona, it's 106 today, so it's actually mild. So if you're asking if we're all out hiking and stuff, no. Those people that are posting pictures for the most part are either going out at 5, 6 a.m. or they're showing you pictures from back in March and April. I can't think of the name. One by U2. Ay. Okay, so much for that idea. Because I figured maybe come in every week, play 2 or 3 songs, bits and pieces, and see if everybody can guess it. And that, I can jam on the acoustic guitar and the electric guitar. That's usually kind of works that way. I have a couple of videos of me playing and singing YouTube channel. Check the songs. So Joshua Carter, everybody can go out and check Joshua out singing and playing and stuff. And there you go. But I figured it's a way I can just get it rolling early, and I've been playing around with the guitar here a bit while I was waiting for the clock to go up and hit 4 o'clock on the hour. So there you go. But that's an Epiphone, well-built. They're really, really super nice guitars, and they have a really good tone. This is the guitar. I think I've told the story before. I went in, and I was trying out a few guitars. I tried out a Martin, and I tried out, a couple others. Anyways, I was in the $1,000 to $1,500 range, eyeballing up on the wall. I was eyeballing a Hummingbird. There was a Martin D28 in there too. It was about $9-10 grand, and I'm like, I ain't being able to walk out with that. It was U2. It was one. Anyways, so I went in and I took this guitar down, and I was playing it, and I thought, wow, this guitar just feels broke in. It just feels like it's a player-ready guitar. And I wasn't really familiar with the Epiphone acoustics, the well-built, but I was like, man, this guitar is really nice. And price sticker was probably $699 or $799 or something. And I was sitting there just messing with it, and I thought, what I usually do is then I'll put it back, walk around, think about it, pick it back up, and see if it feels the same. Because I was thinking, man, the guitar feels good. Well, when I left the room, some girl picked it up and started sitting there and playing it, and she could not play, which is, to put it nicely, she could not play guitar very well at all. And she's playing this guitar, and her dad was standing there with her. She was probably 13 or 14, maybe 15. And she's sitting there playing the guitar, and I'm watching, and I'm standing there, and I'm just like, I can't believe this girl picked that guitar up. And I'm like, that guitar, and it's too good for her. Which is a wrong way to look at it. Use the not interested approach. Anyways, so I stood at the counter on the far side of the counter where I could look and see her in the room playing it. And then I realized she was talking to her dad, and they were nodding. She played Stairway. She didn't play Stairway to... I don't know what she was playing because I couldn't hear. She was in the acoustic room. One life, one need in the night. Anyway, okay. So, anyhow. So, we're sitting there. And, I was standing there. And I'm like... And Trevor was with me, too. And I remember... They came to the counter. They put the guitar back on the wall. And they came to the counter. And started waiting for a salesman. And I went around them. And I went through the door, picked the guitar up, came around the other side, holding the guitar beside me, came around the side to the other side of the counter with the guitar down low. When they got the salesman, they went back in the room, And they started looking for the guitar because the guitar was missing on the wall. They're looking and just being puzzled. And I had the guitar on the counter and was telling the guy, ring it up, hurry. They did come out and bust me. They saw it, and you could just the look in their eyes was one of sadness, which I relish because the guitar found itself an excellent home. But anyone that just joined us, it is an awesome sounding guitar. Has a great tone. And really enjoyed it, but it's a good player's guitar. I'm not big on the full big-bodied guitars a lot of the time, but no, this guitar has a really nice tone and stuff. I probably, other than the Carlos, I really like to play, and it kind of replaced the Carlos to some degree, and the Aria, the classical that's hanging up on the wall. Nope, over here. It's always weird to do this. Anyways, it replaced them as one of my favorites. It's just, it's still got enough slick on it that it slides a little on me, but I'm trying to break it slowly. It's got a couple little dings now, so, because they're tools, they're not relics or artifacts or anything like that. But it's a really nice guitar. Holds tune very, very well. So if you're out looking for a guitar and you're like, I want to play acoustic, and I want to get a really, really good guitar, but I don't want to spend $2,000-$3,000 on a really nice top-of-the-line Martin or Taylor. This, in my opinion, I've played Martins and Taylors, and this guitar is as good as any of those. The tone fills the room. It's a nice warm tone. It's a really, really nice guitar. So there you go. Epiphone well built, which I have to look in it. It's the DD500 series. So really nice guitars. You can usually pick them up for a pretty good price. I don't know, you'd have to look it up, but I would think you can find them from $600 to $900, which for a top of the line acoustic is really, really sweet. So there you go. I just said the model, Ed. Okay. I got a 40th anniversary American Strat. I don't know what year the one Strat is. I get these weird... See, I can't do that stuff. Up and over. The delay kills me. Anyways, that's American Standard, but I don't remember what year. I got that way back when. It's been around. It's got a little beating on it. Hey, Jax. Nice of you to join me. Stay on the left side, please. Use the not interested approach. Anyways, that's how I ended up with that guitar. So I was really, it wasn't, but the guitar found a very happy home, and I'm glad I did that, even though I tell the story and I kind of laugh and it makes me sound like kind of an asshole. It really was probably one of my favorite acoustics after playing guitar for, 50 some odd years or whatever, but it's probably one of the finest, nicest acoustics. The only other acoustic that I ever picked up that I liked probably almost equally to this one was there was a resonator. I can't remember what brand it was. It was an old resonator. And I picked it up, and for some unknown reason I put it back up left, figured it would be there when I got back. Went back down to pick it up, and it was gone. And it was a really nice, sweet guitar. So anyways, and like I said, you know, as much as that one is, I have that busted up, torn up, drugged down the road Carlos that you can, if you can find them, they're very, very hard to find. You can usually find one for a couple $100, $200 to $300, but people don't like to get rid of them. And I've played the crap out of that guitar. I've always thought it was a beater guitar until I found out. I thought, well, I'll get another one. And I went to pick up another one and found out people that own them don't want to get rid of them. So they're not valuable, but they're just great playing guitars. The tone, it doesn't, that's usually what you see me at the rendezvous with, is that guitar, that Carlos. I don't know the Epiphone if I'd really want to bring it. I do like it though. Hummingbird's not, I think, they are great, but they don't, I'm not worried about the pickup on them, but what I am worried about is usually the full-bodied tone. So like I said, what is it, the D25s, the D28 Martins I like, but this was very similar to that and the Hummingbirds, and those are going to run you $9-10 grand. So it sounds like smoky bourbon. Okay, smoky bourbon. I don't know what smoky bourbon smells like. I know what it tastes like. I don't know, but it does have a nice ring and a full body ring. it's a nice neck. And like I said, one of the things about it on a good acoustic, even though this is a treasure show, one of the nice things about a good guitar is when you get it is it holds tune, the tuners, everything. You don't have to replace stuff. I hate replacing. Oops. Ow. Well, there's a new ding. But I hate replacing parts on guitars and changing things out. Jacks, you can't be on that side. That's a no-no. You're my buddy, but you can't be near that. Okay. So I would get you a table or something to stand on, but you didn't want to do that. So there we go, 106 degrees. There was a little bit. Maybe we'll start doing that as I open the shows. Pick out a couple songs or something or whatever. Maybe eventually I'll croak out something. So, but yeah, I just kind of that mood. It's a Friday afternoon. Got your drink. Everybody should have their drinks. And then what is it? Just a mic is picking it up. Yeah, just the mic is picking this up. Yeah, it's a good, like I said, I keep picking it up. Jax, look out. This guitar, it does plug in. I'm not plugging, oh, it's on the bottom side. It's on the bottom side, but no, it's not plugged in. This guitar just has a really nice tone that fills the room. So, and the mic here is good, but it's nowhere near the sound hole. So, that tells you, yeah, and that's one of the things you listen for a guitar. If you got an electric, you don't want to play it plugged in first either. Always play it without that and check the necks. But yeah, really nice guitar. Enough about the guitar, and then I'll next week come back with a couple more songs and see what that does. And like I said, it's Smoky Bourbon. Have to write a song on that called Smoky Bourbon now. It sounds like, isn't it the other song, the song by Chris Stapleton's Tennessee Whiskey, so I'll write Smoky Bourbon. It sounds like Smoky Bourbon. Are you done with the spiral staircase? Probably not. It just got to be such a pain, and then with the hot weather and stuff, there's still some questions I have about it and some things I want to do out there. So, any fires burning your way? No, we got no fires out here, right near me, nowhere near me. And usually out here, because of how clear the air is and stuff, you can smell it. So, I'm not smelling it. So, there we go. Let's find some gold and old bush. Highway, been a long week at work. Yeah, some weeks are long, some weeks are not. I'm actually in a good mood today, as you can tell. So, and sometimes you get into Friday and it's just kind of edge in here. And by the end of doing this, after an hour, I'm in a pretty decent mood. It flies by and I really pick up. And you guys, everybody coming in and all helps me breathe and kind of. I realize it's Friday and I'm going to eat here shortly, and it's all good, but it's rough coming in because, definitely we've been doing the lives now for a little while. I started the lives probably, 6-7 years ago, off and on. And it can get tough when you've had a long day and it's a hot day and you're sitting there. And remember, originally we did these in the truck. So, but, yeah, today, as you can tell, is a good day. Picked up the guitar and everything's sitting here and all. I can't show the recording console, but I got the recording console and everything kind of laid out the way I wanted it finally. So it's just a matter of literally, and I got a couple other things I want to do, but I can just switch jacks and move around and push a couple buttons. And the way everything's configured now, if I walk in the room, it takes me somewhere around 90 seconds to be able to record something. So I'm very, very happy with that. And I got the new chair. Even though Trevor refers to it as the shared chair, but I paid for it, so it is my chair. Been a long week at work, yes. Okay, the Bushmills. But anyway, so treasure hunting, and that's just kind of a thing this summer. It's kind of goes into research. I've been pulling a couple books off the bookshelf. I was thinking about doing a few of the hardest to find books, ones that kind of put people out there. But I always realize that sometimes they're really hard to find books. aren't necessarily maybe because they're the best books to read, especially concerning the Dutchman. They're always they're kind of niche books. So I wasn't sure about that. Maybe next week I'll pull that up, because I pulled a few of them out and was like, they're really interesting works. But they're very, very limited, and there's only so many. And in one case, I know there's less than 1,000, and they're sometimes numbered like that. They were very, very limited printing. One of them, I think, is even less than maybe 200 out there available. So you want people to keep their eye out for them, because sometimes that's Santana. See, we're doing requests. This is why we don't do this every week, because I don't do requests. The one thing I don't do is requests. I'm not the corner bar guy that does requests and stuff. But normally I say you pay, I play. But no, like I said, I'm in a good mood. Maybe next week we'll figure out. I don't know if I can do the resonator slide here, because there's not that much room. But yeah, that would be kind of cool, some open slide. I did want to play in some Dadgad, which I'm going to. Maybe that'll be next week. We'll try an alternative tuning, or maybe we'll wait a few weeks for that. But name that tune today, which was One by U2 and Riding the Storm Out by REO Speedwagon. So there you go. One song, I think one is probably from the 80s, right? Could be early 90s, but Riding the Storm Out was definitely 70s, early 70s. It's funny, all those little things that creep in. And I don't remember ever playing either of those songs. I just know I know them. That's one of those weird things sometimes with guitars. You know songs, and you're like, how the hell do I know that song? Can we have the story of the briefcase of money? Florence Junction. Tell Frank to stop smiling. Yeah, that was, I'll tell the story. Yeah, let's tell that story, because I don't think there's much to do of it. I had a couple other things I wanted to kind of look at it, but it was a drug deal went bad, and there was a shootout, and between the drug dealers, of course, and the money was never recovered, and they believed they did get one of the guys, one or two of them, they did actually apprehend, and the one guy was not in very good shape, but the money had been stashed nearby, and I know Tom Collenborn and Bob Corbin looked for it, Dan Hopper looked for it, most everybody that knew the story, because it was kind of a quietly kept story, and some of the very specifics. Frank and I went out, I don't know, did we release that video? Because we went out and did a video searching one of the areas and talking about the history, and we filmed it. And I know Trevor mainly spent his time with Frank. They checked one area that they really thought was a hot lead, and I went over to a different area. And there's a third area I still want to check, but we looked. It was supposedly, I don't know, I think it was a couple $100,000, $200,000-$300,000 in camera cases, and they were stashed out there. And the guy supposedly never told anybody where it is. So somewhere out there, drug money, blood money, however you want to look at it, it was supposedly stashed. I kind of got the feeling over time, not so much as someone else found it, is the owners of that money, or the people that thought they should own it, one of those, someone came out and got it. So, but the story, I don't even know if the whole thing, that everything that happened, but that happened at the junction down at Florence Junction. At the junction there, going to Superior and into Apache Junction, and it happened down there. There was two different runways out there, and there was an older one that was on the southwest section. You can always look at old archival photos and stuff, and then there was one that was where the gas station and all that is, that's behind that. You can see that one much more visibly still. You can still see the runway, but the other one was a dirt runway that was south of there. And we kind of went over those with a fine-tooth comb. I got up in the rocks in the area, because my personal thought and opinion was they had a guy with the money who was waiting, and he would wait till the all clear was, and he would come down, and that never happened, and the money was stashed and kept up there. So I was up in the foothills, and I was moving rocks and looking under stuff and looking around. But after a while, I got the feeling is, enough people knew the story and had been out there in some of those particular areas that they wouldn't have buried it, because the time to dig it out. So it had to be somewhere close by. So I think somebody recovered it. And I don't think it was just any individual. So but I don't think we released all that video footage. Because Frank was hesitant at first. He kept thinking we had a chance to find it. But after a while, and I went out a couple other times with a couple other, hunches, and I thought, it would be in a given situation, someone would have found it. Enough people had been through the area and stuff over the years. So if it hasn't been found, it's stashed so well that it would be 1 in a million shot to find it. Sounds like the movie Country. It's kind of a Country for Old Men thing, except who knows if the guy found it and the whole thing. But yeah, they were doing an exchange of drugs for money. And things went bad, and they shot each other up. I think everyone died, except the one guy. We all like one family here, like family here. Coolest group live podcast. Well, see, there you go. I'm the coolest live podcast. Yeah. Hey, screw you, Joe Rogan. And everybody else. How come I don't have that viewership, man? Come on, where's my 1.5 or 2.8 million? That's one of those things I always hate with YouTube is someone did a video recently, and they put a video up of something they were doing supposedly in their house, and this whole thing, and I realized there was absolutely zero furniture in the house. There wasn't a single picture on the walls. There was no window coverings through the entire house. There wasn't anything sitting anywhere. And yet they had a few things on a fireplace mantle to make it like they lived there, like a YouTube award and stuff. And I was cracking myself up going, yeah, okay. So which is what I think the Paul brothers and other people did early on is, you fake it. There was someone involved in the treasure hunting groups that used to stay in houses that real estate agents were trying to sell, multi-million-dollar homes to kind of keep an eye on them. So, yeah, people will kind of check that stuff out. I agree with Joshua. New Jersey Pine Mob Burial Grounds. Let's all drink to Bob Ward. Okay. Give it up to Bob. He's probably jealous. Crazy like D.B. Cooper's cash. Well, I'm sure plenty of things like that happen. There was something I had to say, and then I forgot. Getting old sucks. Anyways, well, we got a couple stories we're working on. One of them, I got the file right here. I don't know if anybody's heard of the Texas Spider Rock treasure, which sounded kind of cool. I'm still reviewing all the information. There's a number of different stories. There we go. Cheers. Everybody's going to keep going cheers and interrupt me. But kind of looking through that. Hadn't heard that one, the Spider Rock. So that might be one of the next couple of Mondays. Trevor's getting ready to leave town again. The only problem with this chair swinging is I noticed that I tend to like a rocking chair. I kind of swing. Fortunately, it's not a rocking chair because I'd come in and out. I come in and out. Come in and out is, the everything else. Yeah, but I digress. So anyways, yeah, I always try to keep things light and kind of different and all, but yeah, that was a cool story, and I know a number of people looked at it, and then Frank wanted to. And if Trevor comes walking by, I'm not going to yell through the house. Yes, Trevor, come here. You don't have to be on camera, okay? Shy boy that you are. We never posted the video of when we went out with Frank out looking for the briefcase of money, did we? We kind of gave up on the thing.
No, I wasn't even there with you.
You weren't even there?
No.
Who filmed?
You must have taken Tyler.
Tyler?
I wasn't there. I don't think I was there.
It was when we were at the airstrip and what I'm talking about, the briefcase of money? Tyler. Let's see if Tyler was there. I was pretty sure we filmed.
You probably did, but
there was more than just me and Frank there, too.
He's sick, so
No, he's not. Okay, thank you for putting in an appearance. You didn't say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, it's been his return from Spain, France, and then now off to... Where are you going next?
It's in a year, like Germany.
No, you're going in a week. You're going somewhere.
A week. I'm going to Georgia.
He's going to Georgia. So, okay, that's for
competitions for
Okay, so he's going to... You're taking students, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it different being not the student going to the competition, but you're not competing, the students?
I guess. I don't
Okay.
know.
Where is Tyler?
He's laying out here.
Is he awake?
Yeah.
Just ask him. Did he go with me and Frank when we went looking for the briefcase of money?
When they went looking for the briefcase of money, did you go with them and film? He doesn't remember it.
It was where I was up in the rocks on one side of the road and Frank was out metal detecting out in another section. I think it must have been him because I know we filmed. Okay, I'll ask Frank about it. Because I don't think we ever posted that, but then I gave up on it because after we combed the area a number of different times. Okay.
Well, I don't think I was there.
So there we go. See, that's how much stuff we do, is we film stuff all the time, and then we just go, that's not worth it. Are there any suitcases with handcuff? What was that? The airstrip. The suitcase didn't have handcuffs. They were camera cases. Hey Trevor, someone said hi. He's already gone. I have seen the Padre Kino outfit. Never seen the Padre Kino outfit. No. I don't know. I lose track. It's Friday. We're good. But no, there was no handcuffs on it or nothing. I thought it was in plural. There was 2 camera cases with money. I told Frank, I said that money's insured, so I would think, I don't know how it would work being a crime scene and so forth, so might be a reward posted for it, but it would be very old bills, and then I don't know if they would know. I mean, it sounds like one of those things you get in more trouble for finding it and trying to spend the money than, who knows? Because that would have been in the 70s, right? Late 70s, early 80s that happened. Anyways, yeah, and I never found any other confirmation of any information on it, but I know the story from Tom Collenborn, Bob Corbin, and Dan Hopper, who I believe Tom told Dan Hopper about it. And Dan and Bob and probably Jeremiah, I would think, all the Hoppers went out looking for it. But he was looking in a completely different spot, which threw me off at first. But anyways, so Frank will be sitting up in his tub with his cigar, because I'm sure he chews on a cigar in the tub, right, when he's bathing. I'm going, why are you talking about that? Well, Frank, we looked and we filmed, and there's no reason. So that should be something we should release. That should be the next season. All the stuff we never showed you, because we always do all this silly stuff, and it just never amounts to anything. And then I look at it and go, it's kind of a waste. So I know that, Frank, I usually won't leave Frank. Oh, I got to do this. Sorry, there's going to be a pop. Okay, that's better, hopefully. Yeah, there was static there. It was because I had the Scarlett on and for the recording studio, and I didn't realize it till now. It was buzzing because I had that. Fortunately, we weren't feeding back through it. So Jeremiah was a bullfrog. No, he wasn't. Jeremiah's still not a bullfrog and a treasure hunter. Haven't seen Jeremiah for a couple of years at the Rendezvous. Quality over quantity. Those big live groups are so annoying. I don't know. There's podcasts I like. The thing with podcasts is I always believe they go up and down, and how do you sustain an audience, which there are the ones like Joe Rogan, which I found fascinating and interesting, because early on you never knew who it was going to be, and then it kind of got a little silly and stupid for me. I liked it when he was in his no bullshit mode, of when he really didn't seem to believe in anything, and he was calling bullshit on a lot of people. And I think, it's a business like anything else, so it is what it is. Speaking of good things and business side of things, History's Greatest Mysteries, in the next couple of weeks, not this week, but next week or the week after, we'll be doing the Titanic episode. So I should be following that, because they were filming the Titanic episode when I was there. That was one of the multi-interviews they were doing with someone with the Titanic. So I don't know who else would come into that. But yes, the Titanic episode was being filmed. I don't know what this Monday's is, but I watched the schedule, and when the schedule's coming up, we'll let everybody know. see me with my hair all pinned back, which isn't going to look that much drastically different than now. So, but no, you can say quality over quantity, or you can say whatever you want. I always just look at the enormity of, let's say, instead of, I don't know, what do we got, 15,000 subscribers or whatever. Let's say the YouTube channel blew up to 100,000 subscribers, and then I was getting, instead of having, I don't know, a couple, 2-3 million views, we had 500 million views. The problem is I like answering the comments. I like doing this. I'm probably one of the few people that does television and films and stuff and does this sort of thing regularly. It would be really hard pressed with that big of an audience to continue to do it, because there's going to be a drop off, and it's not going to be the familiarity. Let's say the lives here only do 500, 600, 700 people. We're lucky if we get 1,000 people in the lives. One of the reasons I continue to do them is it's kind of nice. It's the difference between playing to 200,000 people in a stadium and being able to play in a club to 200 to 500 people. It's more personal. It's much easier. You can keep kind of up on things and all. So as much as you want something to grow, and yeah, it would be great for me to be able to say, I don't have to do anything else. I can just pay my bills doing this till I'm just choose not to do it. That'd be cool. But at the same token, it's nice that I got a handle on it, and I'd be able to get, would you forget us? No, because I'd always remember. I'm generally kind of nostalgic towards things like that, and I still remember the first time I went live and how that all transpired. I don't know if there's anybody from their first live. I don't remember who was there, because I couldn't keep track. I was, like I said, that first time I tried it, next thing I knew there was like 500, 1,000 people, and I was like, what the hell's this? Why would anybody want to watch me on live Facebook in a parking lot? And I didn't realize how unique that would be, is that I had a television show and I was doing other episodes on television shows, and then I would take part in that. Jax, just open the door. Just open it all the way. You just bull your way in, don't you? So I didn't realize how unique that is, which all of us understand. Marty and Rick Lagina are not going to do this. They're not going to even take a shot at it. Parker Schnabel's not going to do it. A lot of people in those type of programs and stuff, they might do like, oh, we're going to do the... Diane finally got REO Speedwagon. Anyhow, sorry. But, it's just, there's a uniqueness to it. When I did it, it was one of those things I was told not to do by the network. The networks generally, they give you, I have to find that sheet of paper sometime of all the things I'm told not to do. Do not have a Facebook page in my name that allows anybody, make it a follow page, but not, a personal, keep a private page for just your friends. Don't do this, don't do that. I broke every freaking rule they put down, because I think part of it too is I have thick skin, and I understand it's all kind of a joke. You got to have a sense of humor, and yeah, people are going to say you suck and stuff. And I found the trolls and the you suck people as fun as anybody. Let's face it. Come on, you can't please everybody, and you're probably not going to anywhere near 50%. So I was always pretty good with it. And that was kind of a unique thing, that because of that was the big worry, is like, you don't want to watch reviews. Don't read the reviews, that they post on the television series. Don't watch the ratings and this and that. And Robert, I was getting ready to read your comment, and it was retracted. Anyways, so I never cared about any of that stuff. And one of the reasons I can continue to do it, because I'll take my lumps, man. Shit. And sometimes I get stuff wrong, and that's fine too. And, to the 257 people that found the Lost Dutchman, and someone just recently commented they wanted me to pay them $2 million tax-free, and they'll give me the Lost Dutchman. That's a pretty good deal, isn't it? So, okay. Oh, now Robert's back. I remember the first time I met you and got to go on a hike with you, okay? And you talked to everybody that was on the hike, and it was down to earth. Well, I am down to earth. I will take it to my grave. Well, thank you, but no, I don't know. You don't change. It's one of the reasons I probably would never embrace anything too big and would turn away from it. I found it 6 times already, probably in the last 10 minutes. But no, and I thank everybody for that. But that's part of it, is just doing the stuff I do and the rendezvous and different things. Is you put yourself there, and I always kind of in the back of my mind kind of feel apologetic to people that want my time that don't always get the time they want, because people can be pretty demanding of it, thinking, oh, okay, I found it, I need 2 hours of your time, let's get a cup of coffee, let's do this, let's do that. And I'm not going to do it, but I can probably tell you 20-25 times someone wanted to meet me or a reason, and it never happened, not because I didn't want it to, just because of logistics or schedules and so forth. It didn't happen. They wanted me to meet their kids, or their kid really liked the show. And you kind of keep it in your back of your mind, because you think, okay, those are the times I wasn't able to kind of like do all that. And you can't be perfect, but no, I think that's part of it, is just realizing, hey, you want everybody to have a good experience. You don't know who these people are. I've found that out a few times, but you want everybody to have a good experience, and why not? Because they're going to probably have a bad experience with someone else who's going to be kind of weirded out. My sense of humor is, just, we're not going to shake hands at the urinal, okay? It's just, someone just told me about something like that. They got a demo cassette from someone. They were at a urinal, and they're doing their business, and someone said, hey, it was great to meet. I can't believe I just met you. And then they handed them and tried to hand over a cassette tape of a demo of a song, and it was funny. But that stuff does happen. When it happened to me, I found it peculiar, odd, strange of the individual, but I found a lot of humor in it. I was nowhere pissed off, because I thought, wow, okay, it does happen. Now, my incident that I had happen with that, and I didn't do anything, was I was down at Sky Harbor Airport, and I was at a urinal, and I'm going to the bathroom, and then I look over, and there's just that glance, because someone walks up, and I just kind of glanced, and then I realized and looked again, and then I looked back, and then I felt weird, because I thought, because it was Billy Squier. And Billy Squier at that time, that was probably during the whatever, during kind of his heyday in the 80s. And then I was just kind of like, because I wanted to acknowledge it's Billy Squier. But then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't stand here and not do anything, just standing next to him till he's dead. So I went, washed my hands, and left. But it was that weird, awkward moment, like, oh man, it would be cool to meet Billy Squier. So I did urinate next to Billy Squier once. Not the only person I ever met. I was having a sandwich once at a restaurant, and there was this weird guy making noise and acting really funny, and he was this little, really weird dude. And everybody with him was probably twice his size. And I was looking at him and trying to figure it out. And he was being kind of, not rude, but kind of a little assholishness. And that guy, and then when I got out, I couldn't figure out who it was. And then finally someone told me it was Adam Ant. So, but I didn't know the whole goth emo, that side of music stuff. But I kept looking at the guy going, it looks like a weird kind of Billy Idol looking dude, man. Who is that guy? And he was being loud, which is always weird when they draw attention to themselves. Hello, Ed. If History Channel asked you to do another Lost Dutchman, would you do it? I would think about it. That's as best as I can give. And there's been talks at times about things. And I generally, not always the Dutchman, but different programs, I've been asked, and they inquire. I probably turn down, for every one thing I do, whether it's an episode or something, there's probably 4 or 5 things I turn down. And it's always kind of that, do you feel comfortable? Do you kind of like, is it something I want to do? How long do I got to leave? And I'll ask questions, because I really don't want to be, I'm not, I don't need stardom. I don't need to feel like I'm special in that case. I want to feel it's fun, it's an adventure. It's not necessarily a bucket list. And I can always look at it as like I did a season of my own TV show. So it kind of is like, okay, I know what I'm in for that, doing that. Do I want to go roll with it again? So when something's pitched, I kind of inquire a little of saying, okay, I don't want to be an a-hole, but I want to know enough detail to know what I'd want for it and whether I'd want to do it. And that's usually the kind of the breaking point for a lot of them, is like, I'm just kind of peed with Willie Mays. Cool. I pumped gas with Charlie Pride one day up here at the corner because he lives across the road. But I'm pumping gas and I look over and I went, "Hey, you're Charlie Pride." And he looked at me and said, "Yes, I am." And I said, "Cool." And I kept pumping my gas. But yeah, I'm sure he felt grateful that I recognized him. So, but it was kind of weird. I knew he lived out here, so it was just kind of, it would have been strange if it was some other black guy. He just said, "Yeah, I'm Charlie Pride. Why not?" Okay, so now we're talking about meeting everybody. Cool. Robin Williams. Was going to go last year, but Mom got sick. You can probably try to make it sometime. My mother's great Aunt Mary Beth was a little girl on the Titanic. Wow, that's kind of throws off. That's a story. There's a video you should make and post somewhere talking about that. Now, if we ever meet you in public bathroom, I'm going to intentionally reach over. Well, I don't do anything. I just stand there and look at you, and then I start cracking up. Willie looked and said, "Hey." Anyhow. So, answer the question is, it's always something I'll take under consideration. Now that I'm older, it's more under consideration. Back 10 years ago with Legends, that was kind of a very unique situation and very unique people around me that allowed me to do it. And that was purely kind of, I would say it was almost luck that it worked out the way it did. But normally, because I was coaching baseball and work and everything else I do, it would have been very, very difficult. Now it's easier. The kids are grown up, so it's easier to go and do something for a few days or a week. At the same time, it's it's funny because people say, "Well, if what would you do?" I like going out in the mountains. I don't have a desire to climb Mount Everest. I don't have a desire to go across the Sahara. I just like the things I like to do, and I want to continue to do those things. And there's new things I will, see and do in my life, but I don't know if I'd really ever want to be a world traveler. There's things I'd like to go see. But at the same time, I also know there's a limited amount of time, and I want to enjoy those things I enjoy because we pass through one time. I peed with McCain. You should have turned to the right or left or whichever way it was and got it on his shoes. I got John McCain jokes. But we will stay out of that because that's just not where we'll go. Anyway, so for all of you who've joined us late, if you go back and you recycle through and you watch it after this post, you're going to see the opening where we played some guitar. And we will try to maybe keep that as kind of a vibe when in the mood to continue to do it. I think everybody will appreciate it. Frank, who claims that I don't know how to play guitar, so he'll somehow kind of still try to incorporate that in. That I don't know. He's seen me play guitar too. That was a funny thing because at the rendezvous, he was there when we played and I played. And then he talked about it, and he still will say that. And I'm thinking, man, you sat there with me and Dave played guitar for hours one Saturday night. Or it was a Friday night. But he was there, and, yeah, he still acts like I don't know if you really can play guitar. It's like, what? Okay. Any interesting spring finds you want to share? No, we didn't get out and do much this spring. There was so much going on, and a lot of that was lot that was happening, and some travel time, and then just things got kind of, you know how that is I think every year I think I'm going to do, and I really plan out like there's so much I'm going to do, gets completely screwed up. And every time I think I don't have a damn thing really planned or focused on or scheduled to do, that's when I get more time out and do a lot more. So most of my trips, and a lot of what I kind of did, was more Arizona than normal, traveling around and stuff and spending some time up north and stuff. In fact, the last trip I was going to make, I didn't even get to make the Spanish Fortress. That's one thing Trevor wants to go do, and I got something worked out where we can go out and kind of give it a good search. See, he keeps doing this with the chair, and see, now it's bugging me because I'm realizing it's like, because I kept thinking, man, something doesn't look right. What it is he lowers the chair because his desk is lower, and then I forget to put it up, and I'm not going to stand up and raise it now because we're almost an hour in. But yeah, the fortress thing I want to find because I want to take pictures and measurements and everything on it. That was one trip. There's another trip in that general area. I don't know if we'll do it on the same. It'll be two different trips because we'll be in two different areas. But I can think of 1, 2, 3 trips I want to make, and probably Frank can't make all 3. I don't know. I'll try to get him to do one, but I don't know with his hips and so forth. But there's 3 trips I want to make that don't involve anything we've generally, it might be a story I told, but it's not something generally we've done in video before. And I want to do them because it's the last revisit, and I'm going to add a 4th one in there because there's another site I want to go to and show Trevor. And part of that is because I want to take Trevor to those sites so he can see those things and know where they're at. And I don't think any of them, well, obviously the fortress I don't, but none of them I have a GPS on. One I want to investigate because of some stories I was told of other things in the area, and it's intrigued me. Went to Missouri, did some metal detecting. I guess my family's farm is down the road from the Crawford family. It was Jesse James. Do you know anything about Jesse James? No, I'm not a big Jesse. I think Jesse James Feldman's into that type of stuff. I was never into the, Knights of the Golden Circle, the Jesse James and the James Gang and a lot of that stuff. It was very odd growing up in Arizona and stuff that I've done. I'm uniquely tied into certain things in Arizona, maybe New Mexico, a few things in Utah and Nevada, very little California. Now that I have the treasure hunt files, now I've been pulling files because the next few I'm going to try to do some things outside of Arizona even. Like I said, I got this file here for, this one's Texas, and I think another one is for Montana. It was a story in Montana. So I want to kind of jump around a few different stories of different places and then come back into the superstitions. But it is called Chasing Legends, so maybe we'll hit that, magical balloon up. You got all these guys that do this stuff, and I don't know, it's really weird. They do fake stuff and then they don't even research the story properly, and they get 100,000 views. I get 1,000 or 1,500. I'm like, but I told the truth. So maybe I need to lie better. Okay. Have you found anything of interest in Hog Canyon? Haven't been through there. Looks interesting. No. It was an area I only been through a few times. And that was because other people's interest. And I didn't really have, I know people had an interest because of Julia Thomas in one of their first trips. And I didn't, kind of feel like it really was relevant to me, but I went along because it was one of those things like, well, I haven't been in Hog Canyon before, haven't been here, so sometimes you just tag along to go. And I know it was someone else said there was something specific they were looking for, and I'm trying to remember who it was and what it was. It might have been someone Randy Wright knew. Which, hey, if you're looking for a Ferrari, Randy right now is they're working at the Ferrari dealership. See how well we've done? He's selling Ferraris or servicing Ferraris or doing something to Ferraris. But anyway, if you need a Ferrari, go down and see Randy Wright. Unfortunately, I'd buy an old pickup truck or something if I had the money. I don't know, Ferrari, man, speed bumps. And you can't take them out four-wheel driving. You could, but not very far. Me too, like my Southwest stuff. Peace from Ireland. In Ireland, keep looking for the gold, it will find you. Okay, I got a question for Ireland. So Trevor will be in Ireland. I may go but that'll be in a year, couple of years maybe. But anyways, I always see Ireland and I never see a lot of trees. Where do the leprechauns hide? I mean, is really tall grass? I don't know. I don't get it. Anyways, yeah, that was a trip that when Trevor was talking about, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to Portugal." Okay. Spain. Okay, go check this out for me. France. Go check this out for me. Going to Italy. Check this out. Greece. Check this out. Every place he goes. Germany. Okay, check that out. Costa Rica. Bring me back some coffee. And then he said, we're going to make a trip to Ireland and Scotland. And I said, oh, okay, now I'm interested. And I don't know why. That just completely grabbed me differently. But it suddenly was like, crap, I really don't want to sit on a plane for 10 hours. But now I'm kind of intrigued because I was like, you know what? Something drove me there. So, and I don't know, because what might just throw the whole thing for me is that they say they're going to do a side trip into Wales. And actually, to go to Scotland, Wales, and Ireland would really trigger me big time for some reason. I don't feel like I'm a world traveler. I have that zero interest in that kind of stuff. They hide in the black thorn and white thorn bushes and moats. Fairy hills are protected over here. Okay, there you go. So, the scientific answer to that. They're in the black thorn and the white thorn bushes. So there. That's where the leprechauns go. Trevor's a giant leprechaun. So, but that might be a fun. And I told Trevor, I said, I really don't want to do those trips because he won't do video blogs. I think everyone would agree doing a video blog. I know he doesn't have my sense of humor, but having something just up 30 seconds here, 45 seconds there, just different and kind of put it together when he comes back would be fascinating. But I think just the way I am might make it even more entertaining because I'm a riot to be with. And an embarrassment for you as well. Go waltzing, Matilda. Why is Ireland green and Greenland ice? Because it's a lot colder in Greenland. Why do you drive on the parkway and park in the driveway? Well, Glenn's trying to be clever. Must have stopped at the cannabis store on the way home, huh, Glenn? You think you're funny now? All right, so here we are getting to the end of things. As soon as it's the end when it just starts getting silly and kind of stupid. Anyways, so there is always the chance of Ireland and Scotland. I just have to figure a way not to chain smoke on the fly it over. But Trevor does point out that everybody in Europe, every place smokes everywhere. So I would fit in once I get there. But unfortunately, they don't have, I can't afford the private flight where I can smoke as of right now. I don't know about leprechauns, but my great uncle who came out on a wagon talked about little red men like running around climbing up chairs and jumping off in his journal. There's peyote and there's, there's datura root and Jimson weed, all kinds of things he might have rolled up, and I could see that. Well, Sal talks about these little men, and there was someone else who just recently told me about a story about they made peace with these little men in the mountains, which I thought was because we don't all drive our parents in smoke now. Okay. So, anyways, to Ireland. And just so everybody understands, I think part of the whole thing, we're stuck in the Ireland thing now, but I think I'm like 45% Irish, and then there's a good percentage of Scottish and Scandinavian, so I'm pretty much, and there's a bit of Spanish, which is why Frank refers to me as the Mexican. I don't know how that works. I'm not Mexican. I'm like 10% Spanish, but somehow that 10% Spanish has made me Mexican. But I'm primarily Irish and Scot, and then I got a bunch of Scandinavian in me as well, which was very funny because I was told, you were German and this and that, and then I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then, you do your 23andMe, and then you do your ancestry, and then they all matched up, and I was like, well, hell, I'm not. And so there you go, for whatever that's worth. So here is swimming with bow-legged women chases to swimming. Okay, our parents. I meant to say you rock, bro. You rock, bro. Okay, there you go. I don't know if I'd like the food over there, because Trevor tells me what they eat in Portugal and Spain and France. I would eat at the McDonald's probably. My Spanish is very poor. His Spanish is really good. Sarah's is the best. Sarah's minor is in Spanish, so good for her. But, and my Gaelic, my Celt, my Welsh is non-existent. I don't even know how to say the words like Caermerthen. I don't even know how to say that stuff. Bark Notes Trevor, they're late up there since the last time I said he was working studiously on putting them up. I don't think I've seen him work on them. I don't think he's done anything with them. So, and he's out of the room and non-existent. I'm trying to see if that's him. Nope, Sarah. So I was going to ask him. But yeah, he was working on it and going to finish them up. Donde estes Bark Notes? Yeah. Notes? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so so he's supposed to get those done and finish that, and then when that's done, we're going to start the audio project of that. And I think I'm going to do, I'm promising this, but we will sit down and I will do the Bark Notes. I'm thinking of doing Walter Gassler's manuscript, a couple other things, but I'm thinking about doing several things that are very hard to find for people that cannot access them or get copies from the rest of us, and I'll do something like that so they can just listen to them and all that. It's Gaelic for welcome. I love that show, History, Mysteries. Can't wait to see your episode coming soon. It's going to be in this part of the season, hopefully. I don't know how they're breaking it up, but I had a great time, and we will, as soon as we know it's coming, we're going to kind of do a Monday Chasing Legends about what it's like to go do a show like that, because I couldn't film when I was filming and interviewing, but I filmed in and around it, so you get to go on the travel with me on my trip, and then I'll narrate that part, and then we'll do probably the live of talking about it. So I'll probably do the Monday before, promote it, then it'll be on that Monday, and then that following Friday after it airs, I'll talk about everything involved with it. They did use me as a consulting producer and a lot of things. If it's what it was looking to be, it could have come out very, very awesome. They were a great group of people to work with. Can't say enough nice things about everybody involved and how they treated me. Totally awesome. Everything that was a hiccup and a bad moment, I had a sense of humor, but they were totally accommodating, and I had a great time. I really did. I had a great time. It was probably one of the best experiences, beginning to end, I ever had filming and working with anyone. I'm just there. It was just really pleasurable. So there you go. Bark Notes reading. Yeah, and that's, people said, hey, can't we do that and all that? So that sounds like Leprechaun is in Mobile, Alabama, in the hood. Up the tree and a leprechaun. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've never heard about a leprechaun in the Superstitions. So nothing of that. So anyways, and it was kind of funny. We got there and all that a little briefly was because, who was it? Thomas Glover, author of The Golden Dream and the Holmes manuscript editor and all that. We were talking on the phone last week, and we were talking about Ireland and stuff, because I was talking about, and he's made several trips to Ireland, so we were talking about that. Any video for the Don's Hike? Trevor is not as busy as he's saying he is. It's just getting him in here to do stuff. And the problem is I've got to spend time in here and hoping he was working behind me on stuff. And he's been working on other projects. He has other YouTube channels he does editing and does work for. And then he's working on his masters this summer. He has a schedule of classes. So he's working on his masters this summer. He's begun that at ASU. He's working for several other YouTube channels, and then he's doing the Chasing Legends and stuff and helping me with some technical stuff, and we're working different things. So I'm kind of like being, I realize that actually now's the time to get him to do stuff, because come this fall, late August and September, we're going to be back to having very little breathing room again. So let's see. I got to catch up here because I moved the monitors too. See, the monitors used to creak in and they glared a bit, but then I took the monitors and flattened them out, which working station-wise works better for me. But in this situation now, I got to lean way over here because the monitor's like 3 feet away now. And okay, the tree. Where can I find documents on the locations of the Spanish Jesuit missions? There's a good book. Here, I will actually get out of the chair and do this. Where is it? I just had it out. Is that it? Yes. Excellent book. This is a book, The Missions of Northern Sonora, 1935 field documentation. This is a really good book. It shows you the original layouts, pictures, gives you the history on the different missions and then their locations. I got this from Tumakakori, I believe, or San Xavier de Bach. One of the two. It was there, but it should be, let's see, it's by Buford Pickens. So, but anyways, there it is. You should be able to find that, and it's available. It's the University of Arizona Press, and about $20. So that's a good book. That's a good book for a lot of the missions, even the ones you can't find anymore. So there you go. Glad I can help you with that. Hello, Wayne. Would you ever branch out and maybe to do a series on information in other states? They want me to do that. We're going to be doing the stuff on Chasing Legends. I just said earlier we're going to be doing Texas and Montana. I'm going to be pulling files from other states here and there too and doing those. Any videos for the Don's Hike? I talked to that. We love you, everything you do, brother. Thank you so much for the enjoyment. Look forward to what's next. Gotta make a beer run, y'all. Hey, priorities. Wow, yeah, Trevor. Yep, Trevor getting his masters. And then when he should finish his masters next spring. So actually the other two will finish their BAs next spring. Trevor will finish his masters, and then Trevor should be starting his doctorate. And then we'll see. I'm sure Sarah, I don't know where Tyler's head's at, but I'm pretty sure Sarah will be working on her masters. Not going to put anything, I don't know, maybe she'll want to take a year off. The acoustic sound is clear. Trevor has plans. Yes, he does. Well, they all three do. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks, Wayne. Good weekend, everybody. Beer and pizza. It's not beer and pizza. It's Mexican food. Federico's tonight. Actually, it might have changed to Chinese. So it was going to be Federico's, and I was getting a chimichanga. And then I kind of got this weird thing in the back of my head and said, what about Chinese? And Sarah and Tyler are not big Chinese people, but Tyler asked if there's lemon chicken, and he was told yes, it was the lemon chicken he likes. So I might be picking up Chinese. But if I'm not picking up Chinese, then I'm going to Federico's. Federico's has really good food. The chimichangas there are good. The chorizos there is good. The enchilada, it's just really good food. There you go. So we're going to start wrapping this up. It's 5:07, so because now that we're talking food, so we get down to the end, and then we start talking, and then I start realizing, oh, crap, I'm hungry now. So all I had was a bowl of soup earlier today. I did Chinese last night. Yeah, see, now it sounds like Pizza Friday went sideways. Well, it's just sometimes it's different, and this is Father's Day weekend, and we're having ribs Sunday, so, and steak is always Saturday, so yes, but I can't remember how it ended up. We had pizza on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think there was pizza. The kids had pizza and wings, so it came into a different day, and then rather do it twice in a week. The decision was I put out there, hey, how about Federico's? And I went Federico's. So yes, I'm very happy to have Federico's. So yes, I may be doing Chinese. It sounds like it's either going to be Mexican. We will update everybody next week of what my meal choice was, but I will be eating well this weekend, because I'm going to eat foods that I like, which is really sucks because, I dropped a few pounds and been eating really well, and now I'm going to kill that. Gonna kill it all weekend. So there we go. Have a great weekend. Find stuff I'm looking for. Yeah, like I said, that book is an excellent book. I love those kind of books. There's another one somewhere on Snaketown I want to pick up somewhere. I really, 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 really want to get. It's a big, thick volume of of everything they dug out at Snaketown and stuff. I love those researcher books. But that book there I found very, very interesting and so forth, and it covers all the major missions and some of the smaller ones. But yeah, good documentation, good starter place and all that. I would think that a lot of the documentation is back in Spain if you're looking for something. And if it is, and where you can't acquire it any other way, it's not available online, let me know, because I'm sure Trevor will be back in Spain eventually here sometime soon. Thanks, Wayne. Have a great weekend. Jumps along so much. Happy Father's Day. Thank you. It's all the daddios in the group. Great one, Wayne. Thank you. Now Joshua's eating Chinese. Isn't America great? Yeah, we're all eating either Italian, Mexican, or Chinese. So there we go. We're going to wrap things up. I'm going to have to come up with a closing song. That's what I need, an opening song and a closing song. See, that's how I could finish it. I just have to figure out how to operate the mouse while I'm playing guitar. That might be a struggle. So I don't know. Get a foot pedal. I need a foot pedal mouse. Or something like that. Or one of those little sticks you put in your mouth. And do that. There you go. Yeah, everybody have a great Father's Day. Everybody have a great weekend. I'm having haggis. No, I've had haggis. Turnip. I like Scotch broth. Scotch broth with turnips. I like that. No one else likes it here. So, I do not get my turnip soup very often. So I do have those. But, I'm one of those people that likes liver and onions too. So I grew up in a household where I think it depends on the cooking. And when you have that, grew up on the farm, country, cooking like that, you kind of tend to your mincemeat pie has meat in it, and rhubarb pie and stuff that Grandma makes. So I think I grew up acquired odd tastes because it was just, I don't think I was ever allowed to leave the table or eat anything different than other than what was being put on the table. So I just acquired the taste to realize if you're hungry and you'll eat, right? There you go. So there you go. So there we all go. It's been a wonderful time, and I'm really hungry now. Even the haggis made my stomach rumble. It's bad. It's stuffed bladder. And I'm like, man, I don't know, maybe that. I can't remember what the name of the place. There's a place down here that has some good food. They don't have haggis, though. Can't remember what it was I liked there. There was a pot pie they had that I really liked. Anyways, now all I'm going to do is talk about food. We got a little treasure hunting in. We got a little guitar in. We got a little bit of relevance towards everything except for green eggs and ham, which we'll do a rendition of that maybe next week. So thanks, everybody, for joining us. It's always fun. It's always a good time. Hey, we didn't buffer out or have a problem this week. Everything went good. So and let's see if the temperature even dropped. Did we even get a drop in temperature? It's still 106. See, stayed the same heat. I got the heat index thing on my computer showing me that it's You know, the heat index is up, and don't go out, you're going to die. So, well, cook an egg on the sidewalk. Cook an egg just about anywhere. Anyways, the shadows are moving, so the sun is starting to slowly arc to the northwest and drop. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for coming around. I'm going to be going and get whatever, whether it's Mexican or it's Chinese, I will be getting something to eat. Everybody else will do the same. Have a great Father's Day. Have a wonderful, great weekend. Catch us on Chasing Legends on Monday.